So because the slow march of time never stops and winter and Christmas are slowly but surely looming at our doorstep, here we are as I wake up the next day to see the fuckery that is the latest Gundam Winterfest for GBO2. What's going on, everybody? Gundam the 13th here, back at it again with another look at our latest newsletter that dropped in the wee hours of the morning. I don't know why I always just disregard the fact that I've been covering a Japanese game for like 4+ years. Of course it's going to be at the crack of dawn and I'm just going to see in the Discord. But Winterfest 2022 is here with some pretty neat announcements. A lot of the usual stuff, of course. 40 consecutive containers and all the other good stuff. But the interesting thing right out of the gate is what the first suit is going to be banner-wise, which actually threw me for a loop. It's this chunky fucker, the bane of my existence and namesake, the Gustav Karl. So moving on over to his page here. The Gustav Karl is actually going to be a 650 general unit ground in space. Already, the idea that it's a 650 kind of throws me for a loop. And real quick, let's go check out the video right about here. Right, so as you can see, it seems like it'll do okay-ish, but it really does kind of looks like a chunky Jesta at a cost it probably shouldn't be at. One thing that I do hope for, and that I don't actually hope for a little bit, because it has that flexible shield, it might actually also get active guard, which also means it probably won't get a roll. At the very least, and hopefully, because of the fact that it's just a chunky motherfucker, it'll also have a little bit more bulk going for it. That being said, the weapons for this thing, not very crazy. It's still just a general mass-produced suit. And of course, even though, you know, it probably goes without saying, this is not the Hathaway version, it's not the 00, this is just the regular Gustav Karl that we got for the Unicorn era. But, that being said, Winterfest itself, of course, goes until January. So this is likely just going to be the first of many. We'll definitely be more interested to see some of the later stuff. I'm more surprised, to be honest, that this is actually going to be a suit that we roll for, because if we move down a little bit further, skipping the other stuff we'll get back to in a second, the actual special mission limited suit is the Yakishiki mass production type. Obviously a good pick. Another one that we expected. But considering some of the other choices that we've seen for banner suits up until now, a lot of the variations and stuff, this very well could have also been where the Gustav Karl is right now. But general unit would cost of 550 based on the Yakishiki Kai. It's got the little fancy missile launcher doodad on it and all that other neat shit. The nice thing, of course, being that along with the other limited missions and getting the level 1 and 2 of this thing, you're also getting some armor, some other firing programs in a time where they're also discounting a lot of the DP stuff so that you can get your junk. Definitely nice. One thing, and I don't really remember if this was something that was available at any point before, especially because these weren't super prominent back then, the Alex marker is actually here as a decal. And I want it. That looks really cool. The pattern here, the example on the Agu guy for the small spots HG, definitely a nice touch. In general, looking forward to seeing this thing scooting around. Definitely will be doing a vid once it actually does come out. I'm sure the grind won't be super crazy. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to that one too. Alright, so going back to the list, the other usual stuff is here. You got the 5 times 3 star materials. A bunch of step-ups are going to be coming out and draining your wallet viciously. The unacquired mobile suit boosted supply drop, looking a little weird, especially when they're showing the Banshee prominently after technically having nerfed it. Snadji Stein definitely still in there. You can see stuff like the other, is that the other Zaku 4 peeking in there? Yeah. As well as the Delta Kai, yada yada. So there's gonna be stuff in here that you want. But it's also gonna be a bit of a rough pick if you're trying to go for specifics. But, you know. 'Tis the season. Why aren't you spending? Right? It's Christmas. So, outside of that, we have a lot of other things that we've come to expect for Winterfest promotion for new and returning soldiers. You know, like I said before, the DP Exchange is actually getting a pretty hard discount. I like how they highlight the fact that it's more than 900 items. Yeah. Parts, repeats of suits, a bunch of other weapons you're probably not going to use. And don't worry about the details. If you see something that you've been eyeing and it's been too expensive, just get it. Just don't worry about it. Also, but of course, we're not going to find out about it quite yet. Updates for the Battle Simulator missions, which also means, keep in mind right now, if you haven't done those, for whatever reason, or maybe you have a new account that you haven't done them on because, you know, you're smurfing or whatever, Lord knows. Be sure to get that done now, get your resources before they change. The update for that will be released, I guess, on the 14th. So we got time. We got a little bit of time, so anyone that needs to bang those out, by all means, get in there. Now we get into... Honestly, I wouldn't say the nitty-gritty. That's probably not very nice to all the other stuff that they're doing, but I do appreciate if I can find the fucking tab. There it is. We got more aesthetics, so, you know, the usual stuff. We got the little decoy, we got the tree going up, but we got new fucking Christmas gear, and we're finally getting a backpack. I don't know why getting a backpack is making me excited in this fucking game, but it's been a hot minute. We're getting a Santa backpack, but also a little huggy Santa for the arm. Definitely nice accessories. All the usual stuff's coming back. Snowman balls, Zakutu, Haro, Santa hats, yada yada. Also, of course, snowball fighting is going to be making a comeback during this time as well. And to be honest, that's pretty much the long and short of it. All the other stuff in terms of the campaign that you would expect are actually going to be there. And I am looking forward to the new suit, even if it is kind of just so-so. That's very typical for these longer events. The first drop's not always going to be the craziest. I say that, but I don't really remember if there's been any other examples of the opposite. But, you know, Gustav Karl was a suit that we had to bite the bullet on eventually. It's interesting that we're chucking this and the mass production Shiki Kai out the window immediately at the beginning of winter, when these are ones that we've speculated on for a long time being potential picks. So, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. Good luck to anyone who tries to grind out for this or that tries to get the Gustav Karl just out of, you know, the sake of collecting it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not looking forward to seeing this thing struggle around. The jokes and references are going to be insane, and I'm sure everyone's going to continue to type Gustav in my chat without the E, and I am going to die inside. But you know what? It's part of the game. So, until next time, this is Gustav the 13th. I will talk to y'all in the next video.